It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea All Shade, Married at First Sight, Season 3, Episode 6 review. So we start off this episode with the camera crew asking Trey and Vanessa have they consummated their marriage. And Trey was like, we consummated the fuck out of that marriage. He was so excited that he finally got some vag. Like, he has been dying to get up in that hole for quite some time. And apparently they had some really good, phenomenal sex. And I'm like, finally somebody is getting their back cracked on this show. Too bad it ain't me in real life. So Dr. Pepper comes to visit Sam and or is coming to visit Sam and Neil. And Sam and Neil are in the kitchen. They have a conversation. And Neil is very excited about Dr. Pepper coming. And Sam says she hopes that Neil will be himself when she comes. He was like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? I was looking at the camera like, the television like, what the fuck you talking about? Like, what? And so she was like, you don't act like yourself. I know the cool Neil that I talk to when the cameras are off. And then I know camera Neil. And he was like, which is what? And she was like, PC, politically correct. And he says in his commentary, that he's still very much so into the marriage, but questions what the hell is she talking about. And I was agreeing with Neil because it's like, okay, what do you expect for this man? You expect for him to act a clean monkey on camera like you? Of course he's going to be guarded on camera. I know that I will be watching the things that I say on camera versus off camera too. It's a whole nother world having your everyday lives film, and you don't want to offend anyone or come off any kind of way. So I'm team Neil with this. Um, I just think she's just a dickhead. Like, I just cannot with Sam. Um, and so she says that the true Neil curses, says how he feels, says things are stupid, this, and that. I'm like, okay, girl, your point. And I will say though that I think that Neil is pretending to be a little bit more not even a little bit, a way more optimistic about this marriage than how than what he really truly feels. Because if you look at him and how his mannerisms and the way he looks at Sam gets on his fucking nerves, and he is counting down the day to they have to sit in front of those therapists and say whether or not they want to stay married or stay divorced. He is not here for her. He's just being nice, I feel like, for the cameras. I do feel that way, like he's just, saying he's here. He's, optimistic. I don't really think he feel that way. I think he knows that this girl is just trash, and I just cannot wait to get away from her. But I'm gonna respect her and be nice to her despite the way that she treats me, which is admirable. Um, where was I at? He says that he views the cameras as a family member, like his grandmother, somebody like that he would treat with respect, versus a party animal on camera. And I was like, good for you, Neil. Act like you got some damn sense on camera. Act like you are a grown ass man and act like a grown ass man. She then says that how she deliberately upsets him to make him be honest. And I'm like, how old are you, young lady? You are a 30-something-year-old woman saying how you sitting up here deliberately trying to piss somebody off just to get a reaction out of them. That's why you are on this show now, because you couldn't find anybody that was going to tolerate and put up with your childish ass. So Father's Day is coming, and Neil has had a hard time with it because his dad is dead, and Ashley doesn't have a relationship with her father. And I was like, ding, 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 ding. That's what this bitch's problem is. I forgot all about the fact that she does not have a father, but the way that she acts towards men and just in general stems from abandonment issues. And I feel like she has guarded herself so much that she has truly lost any kind of sense of a personality. Um, she just says how she doesn't know how to comfort David in this moment since she hasn't been through death. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're a death of a parent. I'm like, okay, your parents aren't dead, but I know you suffered some kind of loss. You've seen loss. Like, just be there for him. Like, what is wrong with this woman? Like, she acts like just a mechanical dummy. Like, she has no emotion. She's a tin man. So, David says, he doesn't like how Ashley brushes off his emotion when he reveals deep things about himself to her. And I was like, shit, I would feel the same damn way. Like, this man is truly trying to build a relationship and a rapport with her, and she is just so cut off from reality in the world. Like, she is just focused and zeroed. Like, she's just, ugh, like I don't even understand how he is stuck around this long. I would have been left. So Sam tells Dr. Pepper that she doesn't get a good vibe, that Neil is mentally prepared for this whole experiment. And I was like, what, girl? Like, how are you telling this doctor that he's not mentally prepared for this? No, you're not mentally prepared for this. You needed to go seek help before you got on this damn show. So she tells Dr. Pepper how she feels that Neil is two different people on and off camera. And Dr. Pepper tells her that being on camera is difficult, especially in the beginning. I'm like, duh. Anybody would have a brain would know that. Sam doesn't have a brain, so I digress. So Neil then talks to Dr. Pepper alone. He says how he was disrespected by her on their honeymoon, and Dr. P now understands why he hasn't opened up to her because of how she's talked to him. So when they bring the couple together to talk to Dr. P says that she thinks that they can have a smooth relationship if they get things back on track. And I'm like, Dr. Pepper, girl, who the hell are you trying to fool? These two people do not need to be together on no kind of circumstances. They are not a perfect match. I don't know what the hell y'all computer system said over there, but Neil and Sam are two people that from the day they met, I looked at them on this show and said, this is not going to fucking work. You can just look at them and tell they were just totally two different people. Nothing about this relationship is going to work. They're going to get a divorce at the end of this. I will like throw myself on in the middle of King's Highway here in St. Louis if they stay together after this whole experiment is done and over with. Dr. Pepper, you're reaching. Um, so she asked him to discuss what they want their roles to be in the marriage, and Sam is starts shutting down, and she says that she's indifferent about staying in this marriage, and I'm like, bitch, just leave. God damn it, just go, girl. Just go and be sad and miserable and passive aggressive and just an idiot somewhere by yourself. So Dr. P tells her that she needs to be open to changing and growing and being optimistic. And yes, Dr. P, what you said right there was great, but you're talking to a person who does not feel that she's done anything wrong and that it's the other person that has the problem. Y'all need to get me on here and read these people and get these people together. Like Chris Collin, like the executive producer, FYI, call you girl so I can get these people in order. Ashley and David wake up on Father's Day, and she can tell that he's very grumpy, but she doesn't understand why he's grumpy. It doesn't even dawn on her. So she asks him, I mean, what's wrong with you? And he was like, my God, my father's dead. And walks into the bathroom and shut the door. I mean, the whole boy is pissed. He has every right to me because he just sat up here and had a whole heart-to-heart emotional conversation with this girl and told her, my father's dead. I have a really hard problem accepting it on Father's Day. Father's Day is a really hard day for me. And it just went in one ear and out the other. This girl is so emotionally turned off. Anything that he says to her goes in one ear and out the other. She doesn't listen to a word that he says. It's just like he's just there, like he's just thin air, and she's in her own little Ashley world. I don't even understand why this chick came on this show to get married. She came to get married to still be by herself because she's still emotionally and physically by her damn self. So she tries to go in the bathroom and comfort him in her mechanical bull ass way that she can. So Trey and Vanessa's family come over for Father's Day, and Vanessa cooks some good old soul food up for them, and they eat and they play dominoes, and it was really cute family time. Neil and Sam's dad continue to bond, and at this point, I know Neil wishes that he would have met her dad at the altar and married him because he has a better rapport and relationship with Sam's dad than he does with Sam. So they go to the gun range, and after they shoot guns, Sam's dad says how he needs to open up more. And I'm like, Sam's daddy, you obviously don't know what kind of a douche lord you have as a daughter. He's not the problem. It's your dickhead ass daughter that's the problem. So David's mom comes by on Father's Day, and Ashley, his mom, take a walk, and she tells David's mom about their morning, how he kind of blew up on her. And the mom says how he bottles up his feelings, although he's still very much optimistic about life. And Ashley says that she sees where he gets his positivity from. I'm like, well, you need to pick up on some of that positivity and sun rays and put some of that into your spirit, honey, because you need a good cleansing, a soul cleansing. So she needs to lay her head on Iyanla Van Zant's bosoms and just have a really good cry. You know how Iyanla Van Zant sit everybody on her lap and she forces them to place their head on her bosom. That's what Ashley needs to do. She needs to lay her head on Iyanla Van Zant's big bosoms and just have a big old soul cry and cleanse her soul from all of that negativity and just blackness is inside of her heart. So David and Ashley tell Dr. Pepper that they're planning an open house and he wants to invite about 20 of his closest family and friends. And she's just not into it. She just really doesn't want to have that many people in her house. And there's really not a reason or rhyme to it. She just doesn't because she's just not a people person. And so Dr. P is just like, she needs time to warm up to people. She suggested they have something small and intimate, then build up to a big party. I'm like, why is everything so much on this heifer's terms and what makes her comfortable? What about this man? What makes him comfortable? What about making him happy? Because she's done nothing but be a Debbie Downer from day fucking one. Oh my God. Dr. Pepper, the other therapist, get her in check. Start checking these people and calling them out on their shit and forcing them to look at themselves. So after Father's Day, Trey went out with his family, and when Vanessa came home after being out with her family, his family, she found him knocked out drunk, and she, was pissed off about it because she feels like, if something would have happened, he wouldn't have been aware of it. And I just feel like at this point, she's just finding a reason to be upset and to run away from the process and feel like he's going to hurt her. She's basically trying to shield herself from getting hurt, before he could hurt me, let me just figure out something, to make myself mad or to be upset about. And at this point, girl, you just really reaching. She just need to calm down and stop, putting everything that's happened in her past off on him and allow him to be who he's going to be. And if he's going to make mistakes, let him make mistakes. As long as he ain't going upside your head, beating you, being, disrespectful, using up all your money, whatever. Like him coming home drunk from a night out with his family, I think you're just doing way too much. I can see if he's been drinking excessively this whole entire process, but that's not even the case. I think she's just reaching and she really just needs to chill out and take a breather. Take a breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay. So, Sam and Neil have a breakthrough and start to get along somewhat for right now until she finds something else to nitpick about. So David is questioning his marriage because Ashley is still hot and cold. And I'm like, it ain't even nothing to question. This chick is on planet Mars. He tries to talk to her about their visit with Dr. P, and she can't give him an answer to not one question that he asks her. And then she gets an attitude when he like, I just want 15 minutes of your time to talk about the meeting that we had with Dr. Pepper that refers to our marriage and this exercise she wants us to do. And she's just sitting there fucking mute and cannot hold a conversation or enunciate her words or come up with a sentence. And so she says, she can't talk right now, she needs to study, and oh my God. And I'm like, you knew you had to study when you walked your ass down this damn aisle. Did that not come into your damn brain? How can you sit up here and say you want to be a married woman when you can't even juggle studying and a husband? That's all you doing. You ain't working. So what girl, how's your life so hard? I know you got a big test coming up, but you're giving this man 15 minutes of your time to talk about something that's pertaining to your marriage. It's just too much for you. What are you going to do when you actually become a nurse and have to be at a hospital working on your feet for 12 hours and have to come home and be somebody's wife? You really ain't going to have no time or patience to talk to this man. So, David is pretty much fed up. He's starting to get attitude with her ass. And, he says in his commentary that, if it was a friend that was going through this, he would basically just tell his friend, like, homeboy, she's not digging you. Keep it moving. But that he's going to continue to try. And I'm like, child, better you than me. Continue to have a headache if you want to. So she feels like he doesn't get it because she has a test and she needs to study. And I'm like, girl, whatever. Trey and Vanessa meet with Dr. P, and she's sad because they're not the happy couple they usually are. She brings up that they've had challenges, and Dr. P asks what that is, and Trey brings up the fact that he came home drunk the night, his father was in town, but how he doesn't think it was a big idea. It was a big deal, and I was team Trey with that. Vanessa feels like she couldn't depend on him. And I was like, okay, well, that goes back to her whole daddy issues and abandonment issues of feeling like he's going to leave her. And maybe like the men in her past have left her and let her down. She feels like he's going to do the same thing. And she cannot portray those same feelings and emotions onto him unless he starts showing her those signs over and over again. You just can't jump to that conclusion one time he messes up, because I have those same issues with myself, with feeling like is a man going to stay around, but I'm not going to force my inner thoughts or feelings off onto that person. It's just not a healthy way to live. um so yeah, that was the end of the episode. I give tonight's episode a B plus. I just feel like they need to do way more background research on these people outside of them having these conversations with the therapist, because a person can tell you anything. A person can tell you anything out their damn mouth and expect for you to believe it, but their mannerisms, the way that they act, the way that they respond to things really shows you who a person really is. So they really need to figure out another way to really figure out who these people are before they set them up with people, because these people, some of these people on these shows on this past 3 seasons have been the most emotionally closed off people I've ever seen in my life. Even with this show and with Black Love that comes on after Married at First Sight, I have seen on these shows that people say they want to be in a loving relationship, want to be married, and this is and that, but they don't even realize how emotionally closed off they are to their feelings, to their thoughts. They're afraid to feel. And it's so many people just walking around dead on the inside and broken, and then expecting to be whole in a relationship, expecting to become whole with somebody else. Well, you can't go into a relationship being broken and then expecting for somebody else to make you whole. They really need to really do extensive background research on these people and make them be accountability for their actions and the things that they say, and let them know that that's not right, that's not, the way to handle themselves, go about things. Give them the tools they will need to be able to communicate with one another and to work with one another in a team build, because these people just going in here thinking that life is going to be peachy cream once they say I do and ride off into the sunset. And these are 30-something-year-old people that have absolutely no clue about life, love, relationships, responsibilities. These are some of the most deranged people I've ever seen in my life. So, anywho, those are my thoughts. Leave your comments down below on tonight's episode, and I will see you all next week. Yeah.